I guess a few of you may know this is the biggest Polynesian city in the world. It's kind of weird that it's here in the Pacific, isn't it? But maybe that's a good thing. So have you noticed that I'm really just quite good at talking about absolutely nothing to fill up time? Maybe I should get employed to do it more often. As long as you will stay awake and you that are waiting aren't feeling too nervous because you have to wait. We're good to go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, it's all yours.
My name is Nadine, and I'm humbled to share a bit about our project, Neotuveros Chickies Women Network. Our project goal was to create a network that embodies the concept of Neotuveros, or spaces for women gathering and sharing resources. We envision this network to give agency to Chickies women, youth, and families in Guahan to empower their communities. Although we're based in Guahan, we sought an opportunity to deepen our intention and commitment to our heritage. We drew on our ancestral ties to Chu and our combined 50 years of experience to shape and guide our project. Grounded in Thong, or love, we explored many possibilities and inventoried our capacity to design an initiative unique to our heritage. We also wanted a project that could contribute to the social and economic development in Chuk State. As such, we developed Tutunap Together, a summer camp initiative rooted in storytelling and community, involving families, youth, and educators to inspire a passion for reading and lifelong learning. Tutunap, or powerful storytelling, was a way inclusive spaces and activates Indigenous concepts of sharing knowledge and wisdom. The camp targeted families with limited means and opportunities. The summer camp was comprised of community meetings and workshops that promote family bonding, support school readiness, and offer resources, meals, and incentives. Our team tailored activities for children ages 8 to 13 and their parents. Our exercises included reading role models, story exploration, and intergenerational dialogue. For many participants, this was a new experience. Overall, this initiative involved 5 months of planning, 2 weeks of implementation, and daily reflections. One of the most rewarding experiences was to connect with families back home. We got a chance to showcase how parents and children can complement each other's literacy skills in reading, writing, listening, speaking, and problem solving, and ultimately uplift one another in personal growth and family development. We're also grateful for the collaborative spirit between governmental and corporate entities, community organizations, and individuals in Guahan and Chu, all of which strengthen our initiative and increase our impact. While we had our share of our challenges, yet we saw them as opportunities to learn and grow from. We learned to be flexible and adaptable with our planning and implementation goals. We also had to address the different needs of partners, stakeholders with our limited budget and timeline, while ensuring the project evolved as needed to reach its fullest potential. So what's next? We hope to grow and sustain as a network, increase membership, and strengthen our capacity to carry out meaningful, successful projects. I'm reminded that success is not a product, but a process. So Kiriso, thank you for believing in our process. Be well and feel free to contact us for more information. Kiriso.
My name is Winona. I'm speaking on behalf of Project Foi Manangaro, and we are from the Cookallans and Niue, and I'll be presenting Ndala, which is the Endangered Language Act. Let me slow down for a second. So on our group is Shalom, Akula, and myself, and we are part of the diaspora. So when UNESCO identified our language as highly endangered, other people referred to it as a dying language. What we know is 9% of the 80,000 Cookallans actually speak the language. That means that you're looking at 91% that don't. That's 7% for anyone under the age of 15. So you can see where dying languages start to get a reputation. Our project aimed to create a Duolingo-inspired prototype, and we used those patterns to build out what we thought would be a really successful app. Let me breathe. So, as you can see, we started to build it out. This is what we do on a daily basis. So we used the patterns, we got Duolingo, we mapped it out, and we were really, really happy with what we had built. We really thought that we had captured the language. We worked with community to take what they had print-based material and turn it into a digital prototype that we could start to test with our communities. What we quickly learned, and I really wanted to touch on this, taking people into their endangered language journey actually comes with a stigma of shame and embarrassment. And so what we decided 2 months out was we're going to pivot. We're going to start to build in taking people on that real journey and really creating a safe space through this app. And that's really important because endangered languages isn't just like Duolingo. You can't just take an app and recreate it, especially if lots of people around the world speak it. It has to be more sensitive. The highlights. This project was a highlight in itself. The two things that stood out for us is we actually started to go back into our real journey. We hadn't done that before. And the other was going back to Aitutaki to capture the stories of those who actually speak the language. And then there's another big movement of those who are reclaiming the language. On our website, which is right at the end, there's a really cool video which starts to unpack some of that for us and our people. But what we realised is they want us to learn, and there's only those few people who don't, which we thought more people were against than were for us. There's a couple of things that we've got for next steps. Presenting back to community leaders, we've done it with a few people, we need to do more of that. Future funding, we want to start onboarding more languages once we get that safe space correct. And then we've got a lofty goal to do the AI language to speech model. This is just some of the prototypes that we've gone through, and you can see our email and our website at the top, but really thank you to YPL for allowing us to start this journey. This is just the beginning, and we can't wait to start kicking off and getting into the real crux of this whole project. Thank you for letting me breathe.
Howdy everyone, my name is Amber Osuma and I served as the project leader for Project MOM along with Sanya Obrid as the secretary, Lebo Gibbons as the treasurer, and together we developed Project MOM with implementation taking place in Palau. So the overarching goal of our project was to empower and equip Palau's youth with information and resources that can positively impact the decisions they make. The main issues we strive to cover include status offenses, impacts of substance use, human trafficking, broken down to the context of grooming, peer pressure, and cybersecurity. The focus of our initiative was geared towards those under the age of 18, and implementation covered a span of 6 months, with 90% of the activities taking place in the main city of Palau. The project consisted of several activities, but the one program that I felt embodied our vision was our intersection boot camp. This was a 5-day program that occurred during the public school intercession break, dedicated to a group of students that needed that extra push of motivation. We collaborated with various government agencies and CSOs to bring this curriculum to life. And we're fortunate enough to have leadership from our ministry, such as our Director and Minister of Justice in attendance. I'm proud to say that we were successful in achieving our anticipated outcomes, such as improved family dynamics, which was observed in both parents and the children after our boot camp, a decrease in delinquency as it was monitored and evaluated throughout our task force operations. We performed a total of 37 patrol shifts. And throughout the 4 months, we saw the trend and where the kids breaking curfew or truancy, the rate was actually way lower than when we started. Like every other journey we commence, I think there was a slide there. Oh, it's not showing. Yeah, there's another slide, but I keep skipping, but talks about the obstacles we faced along the way. Some of the challenges we faced included the lack of interest or seriousness among the students, but that was usually like the first 10 to 15 minutes, but they slowly warmed up to us when they realized that we were there more as not only just as government officials, but we was there as members of the community to help them. So what's next for us? Even though our YPL small grants journey ended, we still continue to do outreach activities in our professional capacities as member of our local police department. And then I'm proud to share that next month we'll be having a follow-up event with the students that participated in the boot camp with the help of the Asia Foundation in USA. Thank you.
My name is John Faniki, and I'm the project lead for the Samoan Early Literacy Project, along with my colleagues, Gabriel, Fabio, and Carlita Patu. So among Samoan communities in the US and beyond the diaspora, there's a major decline in terms of the Samoan language speakers. So we have about 260,000 Samoans in the United States. In Hawaii alone, where one of our project locations is based, there are 40,000 Samoans, but only 30% of the population speaks Samoan, and only 4% of children school age can speak Samoan. So this major decline in Samoan language provided an opportunity for us to partner with a local school in Samoa, the Rurumaina School of Fine Arts, to help produce Samoan children's literature. So that is the focus of our project, was to utilize Samoan students, especially in the independent state of Samoa, to increase their social and economic development opportunities by providing them an economic opportunity to be commissioned to produce illustrations for these children's books. So initially what we had intended was to have the students produce stories because they are proficient speakers of Samoan. One of the challenges that ended up helping us to pivot our project was a lack of time, and also because the school was busy, very tasked with helping produce artwork for the Commonwealth Heads of Governments meeting that was being held in Apia. So our outcomes were increased Samoan language resources by producing a set of children's books, the first 12 sets. So our project highlights was meeting with the art school, which is based in Rurumaina in the independent state of Samoa. We got to do some workshops with some of the teachers and students. One of the events, we took out some of the students to a SEMA game, which is the only opportunity that we usually get. And this was to help build our capacity in terms of building literature in and producing the Samoan language. So one of the challenges, as you can see, there was a major event that was going on in Samoa, and the school was commissioned to do a lot of different art projects. So what we had done was we decided to pivot and shift. Instead of having the students produce the stories, we decided to do commission to do illustrations, which is based on our early childhood literacy program, which is based on Siddlebury. So what we did is we gave students different illustrations to produce, and we would format them into a book that we published and launched online. And so we were able to partner with an established book publisher who would be tasked with producing the formatting and doing the publication and distribution process online. And so that's Mirror's Books, and so we were able to do that partnership to help produce our children's literature.
Another quick round of applause for all the presenters. Hey, great job, guys. And look, I'm already feeling inspired about what's next for your projects. They're amazing, truly amazing. So we just have 5 minutes now for a Q&A from the audience. Any questions of any of the speakers or projects? Yeah, microphone coming your way.
Also, congratulations to all the speakers. Job very well done. I'm an alumni here from UA. In relation to the first speaker, my question is in regard to sustainability, and was there ever a time during your project that you pursued means of sustainability. I see that there was the Asia Foundation, and that's wonderful. Did any of you see any embrace towards upscaling or continuity? Also for the first speaker, what are acoustic children? If you could share some insight in relation to that. With the, sorry, I brought it here on me. So I realized just being here, it's great networking. So we're part of an Early Career Ocean Professionals committee, and we're wanting to know if you know of anyone in ocean science or environmental science, as there are a lot of opportunities in the Pacific attached to the Secretariat for the Pacific Community. And there are a lot of islands that actually don't have placements, but there's funding for one-year placements to help with the diaspora. Coming to the Samoa speaker, just comments. Congratulations for sending some funds to the islands. We really appreciate that, and inspiring the children. And continuity again in e-commerce. Did you guys think of that one to sustain your project as well? And with the app, we have a marine mammal sightings app, and we wanted to know if you can hook us up with an app developer. We're struggling to find an app developer. We'd love to connect with you after. Congratulations again, and I've really inspired, and I hope that there's some funds in the future for continuity from the YPL. Thank you. Just continency.
I'll go ahead and extract what I think may be applicable. So with us at Medzubagas, I think it's our dream to be able to fully function and have a sustainable funding source to operate. But many of our members do have other day jobs, so this was really a passion project. But I am happy to say that we've gotten some requests to do other collaborative work on a very small scale, honestly. And that's just being honest with the state of of our members. But I think in the future, I hope we can upscale and do this on a regular basis, going back home and do summer camps for a lot of the kids and families that don't have this experience. Thank you.
Well, in terms of sustainability, the bulk of the work that we did is attached to our professional jobs. So we're fortunate enough that most of the time when we go out to the community, either we are funded through the government or through an NGO that has a project in the Pacific. I do have a NGO that I'm planning to charter soon, and that will be an extension of the work that we do along the way.
Thanks for your question. In regards to an app developer, we can definitely sit down and see what the resources are that you need, and then try and pair you with the right skill set so you guys can get the app off the ground or develop it in whatever regards it is.
Thank you for your comments. I think because most of us are based, my team are based in the United States and American Samoa, we wanted to partner with our neighbor Samoa and really just create longer, lasting relationships. Because I know that the school has always been around, and my relationship with the school is my uncle is the principal. So I always wanted to provide opportunities to the students, because a lot of these students, like my uncle say, like people kind of don't always see them as potential in terms of like academic success, but as an alternative, trade people in the islands have a lot of talent that they can be utilized and provide more opportunities for them. So
All right. Any other questions from the audience? Because that was a good bunch of questions all in one. I hope you got some good responses. I think that sounds great. Yep. All right. Okay. Well, look, thank you very much. Panel 1. Sorry, but okay. So we're moving into panel 2 now. So who is first? Oh, beautiful.
Kia ora, Mawambua. My name is Navini Ranindalo. I'm the project leader of Moala Development Group Live Seafood Export. My team members are Andy, Salai, Leslie, and Keresia. We hail from the beautiful island of Moala. Moala, as you can see on the map, okay. Moala is one of 300 islands in the Fiji group. As you can see on the map indicated by the red marker, it is 160 kilometers east of the main city of Suva. The main problem for us is obvious. It's logistical. Getting our produce from Moala to Suva is costly. But we have a long-term vision to develop our island, and we want to create business opportunities and employment for our people that help raise their standard of living. Our project was a series of trainings conducted on our island in 8 villages: Naroi, Moloku, Nuku, Vanra, Bekova, Nasoki, Ketera, and Bunuku. These trainings were focused on improving their capacities, increasing or improving their knowledge, their skills, and their confidence to harvest seafood and get it to market. We trained 175 participants in 8 villages. We've uploaded 14 training videos in the vernacular on our Facebook page. It's Global Partnerships for Moala Trust. And we've had 3 fishermen who, after the first 3 trainings, started exporting mud crabs and lobsters to the main market in Suva. That's our island in the background. It's about 62 square kilometers in size. It's the 9th largest island in Fiji. Our project highlight has been the connections that we formed with our people. Extending or strengthening our traditional relationships with our people and gaining their trust is important before we move on to business and to development. So for us, stepping out of our comfort zones, taking on this training, that's our main project highlight. Okay, the challenges are obvious. You can see in the picture, this is how we got around, in a fiberglass approach. The lack of entrepreneurial culture and the embedded subsistent mindset makes it difficult for villages to do this, to get business on their own, to set up the business. They need our support. We're seeking grants. We're looking for help from the communities. If anybody wants to help us get from the training phase into business operations, we would love to connect. Please reach out to us on Facebook or email.
Good Labino Agada, named Bumi Nimrod. My project is Cocoa for Livelihoods. It's based in West Sepik Province. It's the northernmost province in Papua New Guinea. It's a local economic development initiative that believes that agriculture can be used as a vehicle for poverty reduction and rural economic development. So the problem in our community right now is that there's a downward trend in cocoa farming, and that's due to pests and disease that's been attacking this crop. So our program has been implemented in 2 components. The first one is a capacity building training program to teach farmers about new ways, new strategies, new techniques in order to process cocoa beans that would be great for export. Our second component of our program is raising seedlings, new varieties of cocoa that are pest resistant and have more yield. So our project was implemented in 6 months. The first 4 months was to do with establishing nurseries, propagating seedlings, and distributing them in 2 LLGs of our district. This is by far the largest cocoa development initiative, private cocoa development initiative in our district. This outcome of this project is improvement in post-harvest techniques. That's to do with fermentation of beans and to do with drying techniques. We've had overall improvement in quality of cocoa produced. As per record from our DAL officers, they said that most of the fermentaries after our program, they've realized that they've seen improvement in quality of cocoa produced yet. Also, we've managed to improve access to those hybrid clone seedlings that in the past weren't accessible in our rural district. Project highlights. We've had rural farmers improve capacities in grading cocoa. In the past, they didn't know how to grade their own cocoa beans, right? They've brought it down to exporters, and from there, sometimes they get cheated. But with the capacity building training that we've offered, farmers can now grade their beans. They can package them according to class of those cocoa beans. Challenges that we faced was limited access to cost share. Now, I've complained a lot about this throughout the program period. We've had zero support from our district, province, and our national government, despite so many things they've said on national media. Logistic challenges, because Nuku district is located in rural area of West Subic province, moving our tools and supplies have been very costly, and that's taken up a huge chunk of our budget. Looking forward into the future, right now my organization, Sulongo Kogu Business Group, is a partner with the European Union Street Program, which is the largest grant-funded program in the Pacific. We've been able to assist farmers reach markets by rehabilitating their roads. We've supplied tools and equipment for free. Farmers didn't have to pay for those. So towards the future, we're looking at more public-private partnerships. We want NGOs to really get down to the ground, meet farmers, understand their struggles, and link them to greater markets, better prices. At the end of the day, we believe that agriculture definitely can be a way to reduce poverty and develop the rural economy. Yeah, thank you.
Hello everyone, and as we say in Palau, Ali. My name is Ayana and I am the project treasurer for Rank Collective. In my team are Kelly, who is the project lead, and Janine, who is the project secretary. And today I would like to present to you all Rank Initiative. So in Palau, we see several key issues that impact our youth. There's a lack of structured, sustained programs that focuses on climate literacy, conservation practices, cultural preservation, and community outreach. Additionally, financial incentives and youth role models are limited. Therefore, Rank Collective aims to fill those gaps by creating opportunities created by the youth for the youth. Rank signifies heart and spirit, and our goal is to empower the youth of Palau in 4 key areas: climate, conservation, culture, and community. Our target audience are youth aged 17 to 30, and here's our project timeline, all of which took place in Koror, Palau. The impact we achieve centers on empowering youth and raising awareness across these 4 fundamental pillars. We also build partnership with our local NGOs that are dedicated to conservation and youth development. An example is our collaboration with the Taiwan Palau Student Association, where 17 youth came together and collected trash at one of the rock islands of Palau. Here are a few project highlights. So our first major event was Rising Tides, Rising Voices, Empowering the Future Leaders of Tomorrow. Over 50 youth participated, including high-level officials such as our President Surang Wicks Jr. and Vice President J. Udut Sangbao Sr. Our most recent event was Echoes of Independence, Palau National Youth Dialogue, an official side event for Palau's Independence Day celebration. This was in collaboration with our national government. With over 60 attendees, we were joined by the President, Vice President, ministers, members of the Council of Chiefs, Congress, and many of Palau's youth. One of our greatest challenges has been finding time to meet and discuss, balancing our personal and professional lives, even taking different time zones into consideration, has required extra coordination and dedication from our end. So what's next for Rent Collective? We're excited to share about our ongoing collaboration with the ISLA program, where we'll be sending 3 youth delegates to COP29 in Baku from November 7 to 22. We also plan to foster our collaboration with our existing partners and continue to develop Rent Collective into Palau's leading youth-led NGO for sustainable development. Thank you for listening, and if you'd like to connect with us, please reach out via email or find us on Facebook and Instagram. Thank you, and Kumban Masulang, join the collective.
Thank you. There's another 3 amazing projects. Has anyone got a question for any of the presenters? From Fiji or New Guinea or Laos? Any questions?
First off, since I'm really impressed, I continue to be impressed by everybody I've heard so far. I don't have time, right? For Palau, for the project, you're sending 3 delegates to COP29 later this week. How did you go about that process? Like, because I'm thinking like YPLC grant $10,000. We're not sending 3 people to COP29 on our grant. So how did you figure out how to make that happen?
So our project lead, Mr. Kenley Kenneth, actually applied through the ISLA program. So we applied as Rent Collective. We got shortlisted and we got accepted. So we were able to select 3 delegates based on our own decision. And though they will be representing Rent Collective to attend COP29.
Quick question, I think for is it Nimrod? Yeah, awesome work, like the business side of things, doing the cocoa plants, and I was just checking in, who's maybe your go-to market base, who you're selling to, who you're selling to right now, and who are you looking to sell to for market?
Well, right now, we're not exporting overseas. We're just selling to local exporters. Like at the moment, we have local exporters like Eggmark, Outspan, which is Eggmark's nationally owned. Outspan's, I think they're an Indian company. Yeah. So much of the bins that are exported from our country go to the Asian markets, and the ones where they are under strict quality control go into the European markets. But right now, we're actually looking out for markets. So if you have any connections over here, that'd be great help. Yeah.
Hi. So great presentations, and thank you so much for sharing. This is a question to Nimrod. Almost there. You know PNG. So I just wanted to. I do follow your LinkedIn, and I follow your rant about the government. I just wanted to ask, what sort of measures have you taken to actually, apart from the social media, but like, have you rocked up? How are you going about getting that support? Because obviously, I work in the conservation space. I'm obviously going to start doing that soon. So I just wanted to get sort of a feel of what you're experiencing in the agriculture space.
Right. So especially in the cocoa space, I've approached Cocoa Board. I've just started from the boys at the door, right? So I just knocked on the door. I handed my profiles to them. Especially the one with the YPL project. That one was a really hard one because I approached the CEO. I've written to the CEO. My connection there is because I have family that's they're in politics. So yeah, tried approaching them, but especially in our country, there's a lot of talk about SME funding in the agriculture space and small business, but it's all, I believe it's all nepotism, right? Really, it's whom you know. So, yeah. Does that really answer? No, I don't think so. Yeah.
Just in reflection to what you've responded to, but good luck presentation for PNG as well, but really great presentation. And it's a tough place to actually do SMEs or even bringing export into the markets as well. But I think from what you've presented, it's a really great project, and with your connections here now in Auckland, and with this the Young Leaders program that you've run, are you looking at opportunities of maybe not going through the government and existing avenues that you've been looking at, and maybe look to build on the networks from what you've just from this project to see if you can tap into any other opportunities outside of PNG, and if you think that it's a challenging place, but also other situations make it challenging for you to access those resources or support. So if you can look outside of where you are, maybe there's some opportunities there as well. Just we talk, that's all.
Yeah. Thank you for your encouragement. It's just a couple of days ago, I just had a conversation with one of our alumni, Josh. It's definitely, once you step out of the country and you come overseas, there's a lot of network out here, right? So we're definitely looking for opportunity, and just in order to come out of the country, we need to know like the market requirements. Yeah, as long as we can meet people here, if we can understand the market requirements, then yeah, most definitely, our options open. Yeah.
Cool. Thank you very much, everyone. Great presentations, great questions, very, very inspiring. And that's one thing I know, people in New Zealand, as many other countries, love kaimoana fish, and Fiji probably, and chocolate. Okay, panel number 3. Who's first up in panel number 3? Thank you. Welcome.
Good night, Okeda. My name is Grace Furkaji, and I'm the project lead for Walnut Dreams Hub, which is being implemented on Tarai Island in Papua New Guinea. My team members are Winzila Nen, Lubina Akimin, and Livia Rakune. So where is Tarai Island located? It's quite isolated. It takes 2 hours by plane and 3 to 4 hours by dinghy. On this island, females are referred to as walalas, which means seagulls. The females unfortunately own no land and are often second priority when it comes to funding their education. What were concerns as a walala, as a female, as a seagull? So books have always allowed me to access educational opportunities, and I wanted children from my community to access similar opportunities. So in 2016, I arranged a book donation and had plans to build a library. However, in 2023, a neighboring island attacked my community over fishing ground disputes. This made me realize the community needed a resource hub and not just a library. In that way, it could serve both children and adults. So over the 6 months, we didn't meet our exact project timeline, but we were able to secure the land. Our main highlights were we finally achieved community consensus on where the building could be built. We also had great support from the Port Moresby community, who initiated their own fundraisers to support us. We were also the first all-female team in the Wewak Islands to initiate such a project. And these are some highlights of how the community received us. Some challenges that we went through. Of course, receiving the community consensus took us a long time, but as you know, in Pacifica, land is a very personal thing, and being from an island, that took time. Matching schedules with the project team and the community negotiator, who happened to be an elder and had to be my father. Sometimes you need your father's help. Number 3, the logistics. It's very expensive, both air, land, and sea in Papua New Guinea. To travel to the island, it was very expensive. So that was one of our main challenges. as well as the security risk while traveling because we're an all-female team. What's next for us? Progressing to actually building the hub, and we're looking for additional funding to help with our logistics cost, and maybe in the near future, authoring books that capture the stories of the Walala and her people. So if you want to fly with us and support the Walala team, then you can contact us on the details above.
Can we hear the song? Okay. So, hi, I'm Yolene Couture from New Caledonia, and I'm a member of the Self-Dignity Project, along with Barbara Gore and Evelyn Igawi from Papua New Guinea. And we're leading the Self-Dignity Initiative when our region faces alarming rates of gender-based violence, with New Caledonia holding the higher rate than in mainland France and Papua New Guinea among the highest globally. So let me take this opportunity to really heartily thank YPL and Department of State for hearing us on those critical issues and for supporting us in addressing them, especially during these challenging times when such issues often become invisible amidst social crises in our respective countries. So this campaign presented an opportunity to empower women and through self-defense, emotional resilience, and raising awareness about gender equality and inclusion. And our target audience includes women and young girls in vulnerable communities, particularly in the mining industry, in Numea, and intended in the energy sector in Port Moresby. And the main activities run from June to September 2024 this year, with further sessions planned for November and December. And our campaign successfully empowered women by enhancing their self-defense and conflict management skills. It strengthened the community ties and promoting inclusive practices in workplaces and in the communities. So basically, we were reclaiming our power balance through those sessions, and as shown in the previous slides, we conducted 12 workshops in Numea with 83 participants over those 2 full months, and a significant event on September 14th that featured legal support resources and a forum theater performance on gender equality. So yeah, we did highlight inclusivity with grassroots partners and collaborations with a few but active grassroots organizations you've seen highlighted in the previous slides. And Société Lunicole, where I'm working in, that boosted the community supports and awareness, which was needed in New Caledonia. And yeah, the impact is seen with strong engagement, and still there were challenges that we faced, like, yeah, life, it happens. And Port Moresby logistical constraints and prevented the execution of the planned launching, and cross-regional also coordination issues and delays hampered the progress of the program. So yeah, this is us showing up for those ladies together. I'm convinced that we can scale up the Self-Dignity Initiative, fostering partnership and empower communities and promote safety and drive lasting change across the region. Yeah, thank you.
Okay. Hello, Alketa. I'm Millicent Vati from the Custom Keepers team in Solomon Islands, and I'm going to take you through our project journey.
For generations, this is our home, Lilisiana, a keeper of stories, songs, and customs that shape who we are as Wala people of Langalangalago. But as climate change reshapes our landscape, it challenges not only our homes, but the deep cultural bonds that define us. Custom Keepers was created to bridge ancestral wisdom with the resilience needed today. At the heart of our mission is the Phi Project, a restoration of our traditional custom house Fi held us together. It's a gathering place to pass on stories, customs, and skills. A vessel of tradition and a symbol of community, resilience, and continuity. This project brings our community together, connecting generations as we work to preserve our heritage for the future. It's about resilience, not just for individuals, but for the entire community in Lilisiana. Climate resilience is inseparable to cultural resilience. This project revitalizes our connection to our heritage as a force of empowerment.
So as you can see, our journey wasn't without many challenges, but it was through community commitment and support that we were able to overcome. The Fi will soon be a living classroom for Ward 1 Aokilangalanga constituency. And this is where traditional knowledge transfer and revitalization will take place, connecting our youth with our elders, and we'll also be encapsulating this digitally. What's next? We've had 13 community interests across Malaita. So next year we are building, we're restoring the view for the Maiuria tribe, which is the second largest tribe in Tobaite, North Malaita. The Fi project is really just the beginning. As custom keepers, we are committed to revitalizing and preserving our depleting traditional knowledge systems and cultural heritage, and building resilience for the future. So if our work resonates with you, please do join our journey to keep our ancestral wisdom and allow it to continue guiding our future. Thank you, Thomas.
Thank you very much. Another great round. So, any burning questions from the audience? Any questions for any of the speakers and panelists? Yeah.
Just to say, I'm really enjoying this. I think the way your presentation brought about this connection across generations and sort of transferring that indigenous knowledge from the older to the younger. I just find that so inspiring, and I'm just wondering, like, how did you conceptualize the projects to be supported with that such a strong thread? And I see it's in all of these projects. There was the really strong roots was based in your indigenous knowledge and sort of bringing young children into that. And in terms of, even the gender violence and all of that, just building that strength in your young people. I'm really, really, really impressed by that. Thank you so much.
First of all, thank you for your comment. It isn't easy trying to break barriers in places where traditionally in Papua New Guinea, it's predominantly patriarchal. So we don't own the land. And so when I first thought of the project, I was like, I'll just pray and see what happens. If I get it, then maybe the ancestors want me to, continue this. And so while there was a delay, it's really about trying to flip the script, because on the island, the girls are sort of told that your place is not here. You will fly to another place, live with your husband, marry, and you only return. The only time you're given a piece of land is when you're dead and you need to be buried. That's when you're brought back home. And so it's trying to get them to see that while you're still alive, there's some more dreams and hopes for your community, and you can still contribute. And so I think that's really the main aim of this, but we're using books and education. But at the same time, given that we're an island, I mentioned in my slide about the neighboring island attacking us, you can see because of climate change, before we didn't need markers. The next island knew where their traditional fishing ground was and ours was. But with all these challenges, I realized that there has to be a meeting place along with the library for the younger generation, but the meeting place for us to solve conflicts the way
we understand, and the way climate change, we all have methods, traditional methods, and bringing all of that together. So like, yeah, so that's basically that for me, but thank you.
Oh, Grace says, like in Newcastle also we face the same hardships, but I would say that collaborative efforts of the grassroots, making it a tribe, creating this safe space, so we can have this intergenerational connection with our younger sisters, daughters, or even our boys. It's so important, and through this collaboration, we could hopefully get this society that is thriving and sustainable. So yeah, it's all about the people, how you gain them with you on this journey, and just for positive impact. That's all we want. Be happy, be secure. So
I think my sisters have answered your question beautifully, but I will say from my own experience, I'm 33 years old, so I've really come to embrace and acknowledge the power of our traditional knowledge systems. I always say that my very first teachers in my first 5 years on earth were my elders and my grandmothers as I grew up in Lilisiana. And one of the so my first education is custom education. So one of the first sort of profound lessons that I've kept all throughout my career in life was me learning how to weave. And my grandmother taught me in her warm leaf hut kitchen, and she taught me how to weave a coconut bowl with 2 old coconut fronds and 1 young one. And in our Wala dialect, she said, Milina, Fausia karan o manelia galna o lalamola gali, which translates as, Millie, weaving will help you to find your place. Weaving will help you to understand the workings of the universe, and there you will find your place in it. So I've always taken that, and I've always seen myself weaving 2 old with 1 new, and I believe that's the sustainable future for the Pacific Way. And we truly must revitalize, relearn, unlearn a lot of things, and relearn, because our indigenous and ancestral knowledge systems are truly and incredibly powerful to help us navigate this modern life. So, yeah.
Thank you. Beautiful. Wow, just keeps getting better and better. Okay, now we have panel number 4. And we start with resolution.
Before we start, can we just take a nice breath or just shake it out? Because we're almost done. We'll be the last panel tonight. Taking a little shift from our spaces. So I'm gonna start. Okay. Kia ora, hapere, pula minaka, and salafalava. I am Eva again Cruz from Bonavista CNI. And I'm bringing Tewila and Mila with me. I wasn't ready for that. Okay, thank you. Right, and we are Daughters of Oceania. I just needed that part. Okay, there's a rise of Pacific women in leadership across our oceans, and though it's still disproportionate to our male counterparts, many of such women choose education as a pathway for empowerment, and this project seeks to unite us. Daughters of Oceania is an initiative that brings together young Pacific women pursuing leadership through higher education to create an intergenerational network built on care and collaboration. In a vision for the future, Honani K. Trask said, I stay behind to weave baskets of resilience to carry our daughters such baskets, and thank you for sharing that bit of wisdom as well, Millie. The project was really inspired by the need to create spaces for Pacific women in the institution that doesn't value or recognize our worth. Should I go back one? Oh, yeah. These are the faces of over 100 women that we've engaged, and not all of them are included here. We see these women as the leaves that we've collected to weave our basket. We engaged in 5 main events, and we targeted Aotearoa, New Zealand, and Hawaii, and Honolulu, Hawaii, where a lot of the Pacific diaspora is pursuing their education. We were unable to, though we intended to engage these women digitally on a virtual platform. We were able to gain 48 members from 13 different island nations by holding spaces in person, 2 in-person gatherings in Auckland and in Honolulu, where we shared stories and wove together our stories of how we reach our successes, but also what our struggles are and the kind of supports that we need as Pacific women. One of our biggest wins was securing mentorship through really esteemed women who are in the institution or empowered in such spaces, including some of the women you see here. One of the concerns that we had was connecting back to the community, not just in the space of the academy. So moving forward, we need to now prepare our leaves. We need to take them out, dry them, strip them, and compile all of the data that we've gained from these sessions. We need to also decide the specific of our basket. How wide does it spread? How deep is it? What's the style of the basket? Because like I said, we didn't, as we grew Daughters of Oceania, we realized that it's not really meant to be something that's stuck in the academy, and it really could be a space for Pacific women to advocate in different platforms, both within our government and internationally as the voice of Pacific women. All of our work is volunteer-based and has been. If you would like to support our cause, please go ahead and follow us at We Are Daughters or at Daughters of Oceania, or you can also email us at daughtersofOceania@gmail.com. Thank you, Susan Matthews.
Good to go. Thank you. My name is Bradley Omonkopio. I am the project lead for Pacific Student Engagement Tour. Honorable mention to my team members, spans 3 islands, 4. Samoa, Solomon Islands, Papua New Guinea, and Vanuatu, and that's our project timeline. So big shout out to them if they're tuning in online. I sent you guys a link, so I hope you guys are watching. So this spans, Project Pacific Engagement Tour is really looking at young people, especially in tertiary institutions, and their ability to mobilize and actually make an impact. And within the Pacific, the underrepresentation or the lack of representation thereof in those high-level spaces where the decisions are actually being made, and how young people can leverage a platform to make an impact and drive policy changes within the Pacific. And so that's why we've spent the national universities. So our project is a series of workshops, focused workshops that student leaders and student associations within 6 tertiary institutions across the 4 countries that I just mentioned. And those are focus groups, and so it goes with focused meetings within the countries to leverage support from key stakeholders who would support the student associations. And that's where our project took place, and it spanned 5 months, and so there was a lot of traveling involved, flight cancellations as well, so it was a frustrating process, but we got through. Some of the outcomes engaged 6 major national universities, from the National University of Samoa, National University of Vanuatu, PNG University of Technology, UPNG, and the University of South Pacific in 2 campuses as well. So we had 3 reps after the outcome of this whole engagement attend the UN General Assembly Summit of the Future. And Solomon Islands actually committed to establishing a national union, which is the first of its kind, where the 2 institutions actually came together for the first time. And these are some of the highlights. We had Audrey Lee Hang, who was the former president for the Samoa National University, attending the UN Summit of the Future. She was supported by some of the partnerships that we leveraged in Samoa. We did the same for the Solomon Islands as well, so these are some of the pictures. And that's from the Solomon Islands, that's from the Solomon Islands as well. There's none for PNG. I'm here. And so these are, and I think looking at strong regional partnerships where young people can actually come together to establish systems and how we can actually leverage and make an impact, whether that's climate action, youth development, agriculture, but basically to empower young people through the established processes and systems where young people are sometimes gate-kept and we can't really make our way in. And these are some of the unforeseen challenges. I wanted to get to Vanuatu, but the Australians didn't grant me a visa. What's next? Conference of Pacific Education Ministers meeting. This is where it all began, was inaugurally held here in Auckland, and where I got to attend, and I actually saw the lack of representation of young people when discussing education priorities which actually affect young people within the Pacific, and we don't really get a say. That's all. Thank you.
Okay, last one, nearly dinner time. Okay, awesome. So, Malulele, kia ora. My name is Joshua Pewapi. I'm representing Pasipaki with my team member Nikki and Mitchell. Pasipaki means to applaud, so you can do that now. You just wait till the end. So our problem actually stems from the Pacific pay gap. So currently in Aotearoa, the Pacific population is the lowest paid cultural demographic, followed by our Indigenous population. Pasipaki actually is a framework, so we are teaching problem discovery and innovation to people that might not have access to those spaces. The framework is a 2-day workshop, and we build through. I'll play this video and I will talk over it, but this is one of our workshops. Our workshops took place in South Auckland, where we had 22 people. They were also in Porirua, where we had 18. We also went to Rockhampton, Australia, the meat capital, where we had 10, and we were also in Rarotonga, which had 31. A big challenge for our project was actually understanding how to take knowledge that we have access to and repackage it so that our young people and our Indigenous people can understand it and it is palatable and clear for them. Another reasoning as to why we thought this was important was to try and diversify income streams. So most of our young people nowadays are understanding the fact that they don't necessarily want to work a 9 to 5, but they have multiple ways of earning income. We basically help them pitch, do research, and really understand target market and how to make a startup business successful. That's me there talking, but this was a group of young people, but our ages span from the ages of 14 to 61. Another reasoning as to why we wanted this to work was that a lot of our other Pacific family are also underpaid. So the average minimum wage can be anywhere between $4 and $7. Our young people actually rated our survey, so we did really good insight and data tracking, and over 84% of them rated that they gained new skills, but they also rated that they were excellent skills. Thank you. We had 81 participants, but majority of our participants were actually female, which looping back to our target market, having females being the lowest earning people in Aotearoa was really important for us, so it was just a bonus that majority of our target market was female. We actually delivered across 3 different countries, so logistics around timing and making sure that we were working with community leaders was also one of our challenges, but don't worry, we made it work. The 4 locations were chosen in New Zealand because Auckland has a very big population of Pacific people, and so does Porirua. Here I want to take you through some of our stats. I won't read them all to you, but a really clear sign that our project was meaningful was we tracked the sense of hope. So actually 58% of our cohort really feeling more hopeful, so that they can actually move forward in life and not have that economic disparity. Our young people were the key to actually building economic development to try and diversify and break the generational poverty that is currently existing. And dinner is served, so I won't keep you any longer. I'm just
Okay, another great round. questions from the audience for the last few minutes? Yeah, yeah, come stand. Yeah.
Mine is mostly comments, just for the first speaker. By the way, congratulations again for terrific presentations. So there's a Daughters for Earth grant, and there's Daughters of the Deep NGO, and they're really high on NGO relations. Also wanting to ask, actually, if you had a lot of integration at all of grassroots women. For myself personally, I take my hat off to youth, and that's another question, I guess, too. Do you view youth that don't have professional accreditation or qualifications as being imperative in the work that you do? I personally do, and I would love to get to know more about your ecosystem and the people that you're engaged with because of the opportunities as mentioned earlier for ocean science. And women, especially, I would prioritize, and for the second speaker, the education for ministers attending that. Education is key for us to raising awareness. So please attend those meetings with the education ministers, because I think they have a really important role, and especially for female ministers to bring target them. Thank you, and all the best.
Thank you for your comments and for those key plugs, and let's definitely connect after we close up here. And I did want to mention, when we gathered with the women, we specifically chose in higher education because that's the pathway that these women are choosing. We go through higher education so that we can return to our community as leaders because we have these credentials, right? It's just part of the system that we inhabit. So, but when we gathered, what we found was that was just definitely not the only place that we could reach out to, or that we were empowered, and that a lot of the women who have gone back into our communities and are doing the work have seeded these other spaces that we could be a part of. So we're really looking at one of the next steps that I didn't mention, which was the last one, was trying to figure out the infrastructure of our organization and how to build it with what we started. Because Daughters of Oceania, whenever we took it anywhere, just even the name, it really resonated very well. And so one of the things that we're building we kind of shifted and pivoted to really have it be a place that's elevating our voices, a place that we gather that's a place of healing across the different ethnicities that make up Oceania and the different islands. And also the last one was, what was it? We had 3 things that we pivoted to. But yeah, let's definitely talk after this. Thank you, Susan Nancy. Yeah.
Thank you. I think, thank you for your comment. I just wanted to use the opportunity to actually touch on a bit of advocacy that we actually went about. It wasn't just about high-level advocacy, but touching on all layers of advocacy, especially for the students in tertiary institutions in the islands. Because when I go to school, I don't go to school for myself or just my family. It's for my community, and there's a lot of people. In some instances, it's one person from a whole village coming out. So you have to use that platform and the opportunity that you were given to make an impact. And so this was touching on advocacy, not only that young people in the tertiary institutions who are privileged, I would say, this is what I was using, to make an impact locally, and what you can do with that platform, with the education and the skills that you were given, going back to impact your community through driving initiatives, but also at the high level nationally. If you want to make an impact in your country by establishing a national union the way the Solomon Islands did, and momentum is going to slowly build as they go forward. But then also regionally as well, when these national unions are established through the tertiary institutions, the partnerships that we could have, collaboration, networking, and pushing for issues that are affecting young people regionally, and how we can collectively have a voice. So it's about creating that platform at all levels as well. So thank you.
Thank you. Another question.
Hi again, and great. Thank you for the awesome presentations. This is my question. My question is for the first speaker. I wanted to find out how we could get involved. I work with a lot of students, tertiary students, and there are a lot of females in my organization. So I'm from Papua New Guinea, these are Papua New Guinean women. So, and I'm also studying at AUT, so I'd like to know how we could get involved. And yeah, connect with you guys.
Absolutely, thank you. We have a QR code as well, and so what we can do is I can share all of the QR code with anyone who's interested. And from there, we're going to do a call out for people who want to meet. The biggest challenge was really regional collaboration in 8 different time zones it's the hardest thing to manage. And so that's been kind of one of the ways that we needed to be creative. So even if and one of the ways that we solve that is starting locally. So, and then having like one representative to join in on the bigger calls or whoever it is, but leading from kind of island to island or like place to place. So yes, let's definitely connect. Shout out to all the daughters of Oceania present here tonight. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, any last questions? Okay, all right. Homai to Pasipaki and Paki for all the panelists so far. Thank you very much. Oh, we missed a burning question in the back.
Interrupted the flow, but
No, go.
the question is for you. Which is just, like, seems like you're building the spirit of entrepreneurship. And, in terms of doing that, giving young people this vision of a different future, of the 9-to-5 future, how are you linking them with the private sector as such and with institutions beyond that journey so that they can actually launch these into their own enterprises?
Oh man, I shouldn't have pointed out that you had No, I'm just kidding. So in terms of connection, we will pitch to the Ministry of Ed to get our program in to the education system, so it's standardised. But in terms of the businesses, so we work with a few startup businesses, so we'll pitch to them to give us social impact funding, and then the businesses that do give us funding, we will then highlight those with our young people so that they can learn off companies that have started up and done well. There's not a lot, or there's not heaps of businesses that are Pacifica or Indigenous owned that sit outside of the ESG or social impact work, so we will try and pair the two. But the bonus is if they work with us, then our young people can actually see them giving back to the community. So prayer for dinner or good bread. No, I'm just kidding. I hope that answered the question.
Cool, thanks guys. Okay, look, I can hear the stomachs rumbling from here almost. Look, thanks, grab a seat. Thank you very much. I'd now like to call upon Alexia to come forward and give us some closing remarks. And a challenge for you, there's so much amazing material in there.
Yeah, that'll be quite a challenge. Pasipaki one more time, for yourselves and for everybody. I've only had the privilege of working with YPL for just about a year and a half now, and every time I encounter a YPL alumni out in the wild or as part of a program, I am never cease to be amazed by what you do, all that you're able to accomplish, and some of the things that I heard, kind of themes throughout was about connections with peoples and communities, and value adding to local economies to improve lives, and cultural preservation through a variety of approaches. That was something that I found really a fascinating theme through everything from climate conservation to entrepreneurship. There was kind of grounded in a desire to preserve and protect your cultures and your histories. There are a couple of quotes that really stuck with me. Success is not a product, but a process. That is something that I think I might put on a post-it note in my office. And another one that really stuck with me, honoring our past to preserve our future. I think is really something that resonated with me and probably with other people in the room and online as well. So yes, congratulate yourselves. What you're able to do with what relatively small amount of money to leverage that money to harness the networks that you created with each other in your home communities, your governments. I was so impressed with the number of governments that were involved, the ministries you got involved to help grow what you were trying to do, to take your ideas forward and build buy-in, because that's how we get sustainability and longevity in our programs, is getting buy-in from our communities, from our elders, from our government leaders. And quite frankly, like, what you've done is a true testament of leadership in every sense of the word. And for leadership, for me, it's not just guiding people, it's about inspiring change, fostering innovation, and uplifting those around you. And the projects I heard about tonight do all of those things. To solve the problems that we face today, you're gonna have to have inclusive, forward-thinking ideas that are grounded in the rich culture of our islands. It's incredible. So as you return to your communities, I hope that you rely on the connections that you have here through YPL, through the networks that you're growing and developing to continue addressing the topics of importance. I don't want to keep anybody between here and dinner, just a few more words, I promise. And most importantly, stay in touch with me, Mara, with the State Department. We might not always have the answer, but we would love to be your partner. We want to help you help us help ourselves, help us as partners to really advance those issues of importance that were highlighted here today. So thank you for all you do. Continue all of the great works. And I'm going to turn it back over to Cultural Vistas because I'm not really sure what comes next.
One more time, we're going to bring you up for your certificates. So what we'll do is I'll call out your name, and then we'll bring you up, and we'll have you all just kind of pile in here, and then we'll take a group photo. So as we're calling your name, if you just wouldn't mind coming up and getting your certificates. First, we're going to start with Daughters of... Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll do a big group picture with Alexia and everyone, all the grantees. Daughters of Oceana, Eva, and team, and these are all certificates for you and your team members. Yes. Winona and team, and since the whole team's here, come on up. Yeah, you can take a picture with Alexia.
Oh, sure. Oh, I didn't realize. I will stand here and we can photo.
Yeah.
I think Phoebe's on the camera.
Would you like to have Mara do that so you can read
Yes,
and
100%.
we can share the
Mara is
workload?
Very much more the expert. Jamaris, Nadine, and team. Pasipaki for Pasipaki, Josh, and team.
Who are we looking at? Mara.
Mara.
Thank you.
Project MOM, Amber Holly, and team.
How do you want to do this?
Oh, that's so professional.
Rain Collective, Ayana, and team.
And this is for you.
Oh.
It's one of our Rain Collective merch. So it's a tote bag, and inside you have a Rain Collective t-shirt.
Samoan Early Literacy Program, Nico and team. Walala Dreams Hub, Grace and team. Custom Keepers, Millicent and team.
Thank you.
Moala Development Project and Team Bulu. Pacific Student Engagement Tour, Bradley and team.
and team. And last but certainly not least, Cocoa for Livelihoods, Nimrod and team. And then we have one more photo with Eva. She didn't get a chance.
No, we were establishing a routine and we hadn't quite done it.
Success is a process.
Yes.
And then if we can get all of the grantees to just come up for a quick group photo with Alexia, and then we will close out for the evening. So all of our grantees, come on out.
Absolutely. I'm 100% for holding signs. If you would like to be in the front holding the sign. Josh, you probably stay in the back. Yeah, think you know what to do.
You should be in the middle with the blazer.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, we got bright colors in the middle. We can see like some of the more petite people in the front. No, we're not hiding. No hiding. We can do like a like kind of pivot towards the center. If you remember, you can't see the camera can't see you.
Ready, 1, 2, 3. And again, 1, 2, 3.
Thank you.
Okay. Right, thank you all very much. And just, we are moments away from a bit of a drink and a kai. I thought, well, I'll just close us out with a karakia. I'm losing my voice. I'm really talking too much. So, kia ora te marino, kia whakapapa ko ngā miki moana, kia te rito rohi rohi, kia ora te marino, te marina aro mō ake tonu ake. May peace be widespread. May the sea glisten like green stone. And may the shimmer of light guide you. May peace be widespread now and forevermore. So, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou katoa. Wow, I'm almost a bit lost for words. It really is something special that you guys are creating and continue to create. Just wondered if anyone would like to offer us a prayer or karakia to bless our food and drinks. Anybody like to? I'll pray with you too. Okay. I rongi no homai atu ki a whakakia ki tūna, kia oranga aue ke au ki hangi e hui tāi ki e. So, enjoy relaxing, networking, QR coding, switching and collecting info from each other, sending emails, Facebook pages, etc.